Today in this video, I'm going to show you how I build this little arcade right here. It's a mini bartop arcade. It's a 10.1 inch screen, so it's kind of small. You can see how small it is to a PlayStation 4 controller right there. It's not very big. It stands 11.5 wide. I think it's maybe a foot tall. I'm not real sure. But there's plenty of websites you can go on and you can buy these CNC pre-cut machines, and they're fantastic. They're great. But you didn't really make those. You put it together like a little kit from IKEA or Walmart or something like that. So in this video, I'm going to show you step by step part one, that is how to build this sucker.
Alright, getting this video started. Look at that safety oriented fella. I bet that doesn't last throughout the entire video. Let's see. Okay, first things first, we're taking a 1/4 inch MDF piece of wood here. That's just a sheet I picked up from Lowe's or Home Depot, can't remember. And I set my guard on my table saw to 11.5 because that's the width of the arcade cab. And we're just gonna split it down the middle here, and that right side will be 11.5 inches, and we'll make the rest of our cuts using that piece of wood. On to step 2 of this amazing little creation I call mini bar top arcade build. Cutting the top out is 4 5/8. I wrote on the board, I can't remember. Alright, now the bottom, 9.5. Easy way to do it is just set your guard on your table saw to 9.5 and just cut straight. Measure again, cut again. Controls 3 3/4. Same method. Using my little push stick there, just for added safety. I like my arms and my hands and my fingers just the way they are. Cutting the back. The back is cut into 2 different sections: the bottom back and the top back, which is also acts as the door. So cutting that into 2. There we go. Nice and easy, lemon squeezy. Alright, front admin, 1 3/4. It's a real small piece, doesn't take long at all. Just zip it right through there. What you're seeing in this shot is my template that I put down on this MDF, and I traced it out. And then I took multiple sheets around the same size and I screwed them together so I can use a jigsaw and cut it all out at one time. And that way they're all the exact same. I did 4 in this here, and that's a mistake. Next time even though it's only a 1/4 inch thick, I figured 4 wouldn't be that thick, but my jigsaw just wasn't handling it. Probably because it's a cheapo jigsaw I got from Harbor Freight. And another mistake is right here. I lined the back up, and I should have lined the bottom up because you want the bottom to be flat and level. And I had to do a lot of sanding to correct my jigsaw because it's hard to get a straight line with a jigsaw. I could have used a skill saw right here and it would have been a better result, but I chose to jigsaw the entire thing, which that was a mistake. I would rather line the bottom up and jigsaw the back at a slight angle. Next time, on the next one, I'll do that, but this one I just wasn't thinking, and I had to sand the bottom a lot to get it level. And it's level now and it's straight and it sits flush. But that's one thing I would do next time, is line the bottom up and the back as best you can so you can do little jigsawing as possible. So lesson learned. And after doing the best of my ability with the jigsaw, this is my product. It's not perfect, but that's what sanding is made for. If I had a bandsaw or even a CNC machine, it would come out a lot better. But this is handmade, baby, handmade from scratch, from beginning to end. No machines except for the tools, drills and table saws and saws like that. So that's the best. Showing the 120 grit sandpaper here. That's the only thing I had at the moment, so just gonna get a quick little view of me sanding, at a supersonic speed here. The thing you want to do here is you want to sandwich both side panels together. I use clamps right here and sand them together as one so they come out uniform, exactly the same mirror images of each other. And so here I am sanding the bottom, the front, the control panel, and all that. You also want it to be smooth, silky smooth to the skin, and just work out any imperfections that you did with the jigsaw. The wait is over. This is where the fun begins. The first thing I want to do is I'm using these little slats. I went to Hobby Lobby Bought these little 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch slats. I think they're made out of pine. They go in the Hobby Lobby. It's the best place to find them because they're real small. Since this is a mini arcade, the little normal 1x1s are a little bit too big. So Hobby Lobby had the perfect thing. And what I would do in this situation, I messed up right here. You see how I'm attaching this back slat? I'm attaching it flush to the back, but I don't want to do that. I want to take the same width material, 1/4 inch, and I want to put it up against the back because I want the back door and the side panel to be flush. Here, if I put it up against the back, it wouldn't have been flush, so I had to redo that section right there. I had to move it back 1/4 inch. So what you need to do is basically you can take anything, or you can just measure 1/4 inch all the way around the arcade, every bit of it. It'd make it easier. That's what I would do next time. I would just take a pencil and mark 1/4 inch all the way around it, because everything you want to do with the slats are going to be placed 1/4 inch in. See, I put them flush to the back here. Wrong. I made that mistake again later on, but I will point it out in the video so you can learn from my mistakes and do it right on your build. Bam! So once you get everything lined up, what you want to do is you want to apply a liberal amount of glue here. Then I just used a brad nail gun to hold everything in place. And the glue, after the glue dries, that's pretty much going to do all the work here. A quick shot of the back slats in place, and where I traced the 1/4 inch outline around the top right there. So I'm going to put my top slats and the speaker panel slats right there. And in this shot you can see where I went 1/4 inch in. And now I'm going to use the miter saw to cut these little slats up into pieces. I think I went 4 inches on each. You can do different sizes. You'll see how I glue them in there. And I just cut a bunch of them, and those are just used for everything. In this shot, you got the two side panels, your left and right. What I zoomed in on, that's where the control panel is going to lie on top of right there, glued in, nail brad. That's the top, and the speaker panel on the bottom right there, and you got your back. And now we're moving on to the bottom assembly. We're taking those slats and we're putting them on all the corners. The main thing here is when you're facing it, you want to make sure the 11.5, the width, is facing you, not the other way. You might make that mistake. I didn't hear, but you could. I labeled it W for the 11.5 side, so I know. But I did make a mistake right here. The parts that I'm gluing right here, I didn't put them all the way flush to the front. That's the front part of the arcade, and you want the front admin to go on the bottom. And I was trying to put it on the top right there, and that just made the arcade short, and the side panels didn't fit. So what I had to do is I had to move those slats forward all the way flush. So you want all 4 of those little support braces flush with the sides of the cabinet. It's pretty simple to do. Glue it, nail it in, and that piece right there is just an added support for the back. If you want to, you can run those boards all the way down and all the way back across, kind of like a horseshoe, or even a square. You can probably do a square. It'll work out perfect. I just didn't do that because I didn't have but like 3 of those sticks and they were short. I could have went to Hobby Lobby and bought some more. That would have been the preferred method of choice. Now I'm putting on the back here. So all 3 of those back supports are flush, and I just glue it, and then I nailed it. So the back's good to go. That's the back part, and here's me putting the front part on, and I do the front part right. So, and I think there's a part where you see me realize that I messed up those 2 side supports, and I'm like, what the hell did I just do wrong? So it's kind of funny. I'm waiting on that scene right here, and there it is. Wait for it. Oh, I know this is extending the video out, but I try to glue it right here. I don't even catch it right there. That's how dumb I am. See how it drops down, and that one's level with the board, even with the board. And when I go to put it on here, watch this. I realize it's not gonna line up. I'm like, oh my goodness. Well, I got lucky, and I noticed it in time, so I did fix it. And I just ripped them up, moved them to the front, re-glued them, re-nailed them, added my front, and here I just lined the side panels up, and I'm trying to figure out a way to get them both in there. And so I'm taking the right side there. I'm showing my supports. There's the bottom with the front. I guess I didn't glue the back on this part yet. So glue the 2 side panels. This is where I'm saying that one slat all the way across would probably work better, so you can get a better strength, and then you can actually clamp it in the middle instead of just the 2 sides. So to prevent any warping that may cause by doing that. But it didn't happen on mine, so I'm happy. But next time I'll just basically use more. Okay, and I'm trying to nail it from the inside. It's a little bit tough, but the glue is going to hold it together anyway. So I got that side together. Gonna manage to get this side together and clamp it. So now I'll turn the arcade over. I prop it up. I found that a paint can works pretty good actually. You can prop it up here. I glued the back on, threw some brad nails in that sucker. There's your bottom back. Now I've got the power switch. Link will be the link in the description. And I just drill a hole. I think that is a 3/8 bit, and then I'll sand it just to get it a little bit cleaner, nicer, fit just in there just right. And once you get that done, here I am nailing on the top because it's ready to go. What am I doing here? Okay, so yeah, just lining it up. You want the top to be aligned with the back of the arcade, and then just a 1/4 inch from the front, so you can have your molding for your plexiglass and your marquee. Now it's time to install the back. Also is going to be the door, the service door. Going to use hinges that I bought from Hobby Lobby also. I've just bought 3 little small ones, lining them up, you know, 1 in the middle, 2 on each side. Gives some nice support, works out great. Here's me pre-drilling the holes in this real thin 1/4 inch MDF. You always want to pre-drill anyway. And then I'm just going to attach the screws by hand with a little small screwdriver. These are brass. I'm going to paint them black anyway, or white, or I'm just going to paint them all the same color, so it doesn't really matter. And then here's the speaker. I didn't show the speaker cutout. I think that footage got lost somewhere as far as just a cut, but I think I'll leave the dimensions so you'll know what size it is. 11.5 wide. But drilled out 2 holes, 2 inches wide, 2 inches in diameter, because that's how big my speakers are. They barely fit perfectly. And now I ordered these little bitty wooden little handles, kind of like cabinet handles or drawer handles. And I'm just drilling a hole in the top of the bar top, and then I'm gonna wood glue this little handle in there. And it's a little long on the back side of the door, so what you'll need to do is just need to take a saw and just saw that off flush and sand it a little bit, and it works out perfectly. Those knobs are absolutely awesome for this because it's just a little bitty arcade, little bitty doorknob. And then there's a speaker panel put into place, backs put into place. I did leave like a 3-inch gap in the back there. I probably won't do that again. I'll go all the way to the top because it's kind of like a little nice little handle, but it's really not necessary. The arcade is so light, you don't need a handle. So next time I think I'll go all the way to the back with the back door. You know, they maybe a couple millimeters so it opens and closes smooth. But you know, so as far as the arcade build here, that's pretty much it for the base unit. Next comes painting, sanding, a ton of sanding, and then painting, and then we'll go to the rest of it. So if you like this video, it entertained you, or you learned something, please click the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for part 2, and thank you for watching.